Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 156, season 7. Today's date is August 14th, 2022. And thank you for joining me today. Today's episode, I will talk about Clara Peller. I don't know what possessed me to talk about her, but she was the spokeswoman for Wendy's Hamburgers. She appeared in a few memorable commercials during the 1980s. I will talk about my memories of watching her and her biography. And also, I will talk about Shoppers World discount stores. And they were pretty much prominent in the 1960s in Chicago and elsewhere. Okay. First, we'll go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Cricket Lighter, if you remember that. And this commercial features the Super Cricket. So this commercial is from 1976, and so sit back and enjoy, and let's just reminisce. Thank you, everyone.
Cricket lighter is really quite a light. It'll last for months and still burn bright. What a song. What a lighter. America's favorite disposable. Now, there's Super Cricket Lighter. Sleek, thin. Super Cricket, the newest lighter by Gillette. It's slim, the trimmest cricket yet. 2 cricket lighters. What a choice. Magic Cricket or a Super Cricket Lighter by Gillette.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Cricket Lighter and Super Cricket. I remember these commercials all throughout the 70s. They aired them at prime time television, mostly on Channel 7 on WLS. I remember seeing that during like shows, for example, Starsky and Hutch, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Taxi, Charlie's Angels. And it's still being made. They don't advertise anymore. This was in competition with Bic. So the other commercials that featured the Bic lighter, the disposable ones, was the tagline, "You want to flick my Bic?" They're still being made as this day too. So when I go to a 7-Eleven or a drugstore like Walgreens, you would see them on display. Also, but I never noticed cricket lighters. No, I never seen it. Okay. All right. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned that I would talk about Clara Peller, who did the Wendy's hamburger commercials, and also Shoppers World discount stores in the 60s. I will talk about that first. Okay. Let's see. So here we go. I'm going to give you a little background on this store. Okay, and the store was founded not in Chicago but in Massachusetts. I think around there's a suburb called Framingham. I believe it's that. It could be that. So they were founded by 2 men. The names were Alvin D. Starr and Jerome Spire. And they worked as buyers at Filene's department store, which you remember Filene's basement. It was also located in Chicago, downtown. They closed a long time ago. So I went once there. It was not bad, and it was like a bargain basement stuff. I can't say bargain. And so they considered to open a chain of ladies' specialty stores, and then they opened the stores in Massachusetts, but they didn't just have that kind of merchandise. They also had appliances, anything. It was similar to EJ Corvettes, and there was other discount store like Zare. That's what it's, they're similar to that. Also, remember Tops discount stores? Maybe I'll talk about that someday. And then they started opening in Chicago. And because Alvin D. Starr's brother lived in Chicago. And the first store that opened was on the intersection of Milwaukee Avenue, Foster, and Central Avenues. So it's Milwaukee, Foster, and Central Avenues. Yeah. And then they opened, then number 2 opened in Cicero, followed a third in Melrose Park, Illinois. And then by 1960, they opened one in Highland, Indiana. So, it's part of the Chicagoland area. So I'm going to read the locations of the stores. And this is from an ad from March 20th, 1965. So I'm going to read off the locations. If people who grew up in the 60s and 70s, well, probably early 70s, you would probably remember the locations. Okay. So here we go. That was located at Mount Prospect, Illinois. It was at Rand Road and Elmhurst Road. Also Niles at Milwaukee Avenue and Gulf Road, probably near Gulf Mill, I would imagine. Then it opened in Lincoln Avenue and Devon and McCormick Street or Road. I forgot because that's on the north side. That's probably, I think it borders West Ridge neighborhood and Lincolnwood. And I also mentioned Milwaukee Avenue at Foster and Central, also Melrose Park, North Avenue and Fifth Avenue. It's opened in Cicero at Cermak Road and Austin. Also, it opened at near Midway Airport at 56th Street and Cicero. Yeah. And by the way, I have a photo. I posted a photo of that yesterday, so I forgot. I'm sorry I didn't caption that's where it was located. Maybe I'll go back and change it. But that's the store. It was the photo was taken in 1970. Also, it opened in Oak Lawn, right near me, at 97th and Cicero. That's probably where I remember Nelson Brothers was there. It was in that plaza. And I think right now is Marshall's, I think. Also, it opened in Chicago Heights at Route 30 and Western Avenue. 2 in Indiana, 1 in Highland at Indiana at Route 41 near US Route 6. Also, Gary, Indiana at Route 20 near Lake Street. And 2 outside the Chicagoland area. One was at Decatur, downstate, and the other one was in St. Paul, Minnesota. I don't know if it opened any other stores, but then I found out it opened. Well, this ad showed that it opened. They had a grand opening from March 20th, 1965. It opened at Fullerton and Narragansett, and that is right near the Brickyard Shopping Center was, or still is, but it's different like that. It was by Fullerton and Narragansett and Grand Avenue where they meet. And I never shopped there, and my mother never did because we lived in Chicago, and there wasn't any on the south side. I don't think so. No, there wasn't. Well, there was one at 56 in Cicero, but we lived east over there at the time. So I asked her about if she remembered it or if they advertised. She said no. She didn't. So those stores lasted until about 1970, 71, and then they closed. And then some of them converted into like Zare or other type of stores. And so it was like also like Kmart in a way. So there were cookie cutter stores like that. So so that's amazing because I remember when I was growing up, I remember seeing little ads maybe in the phone book or in the newspapers, and I get a glimpse of that, and it was Shoppers World. Some people get confused with Shoppers Corner, which was located on Randolph Street and State Street on the corner in the Loop. And that's an interesting story. Maybe I'll talk about that on some other podcast episode, but we'll see. Okay. And so I didn't find many items online, for sale, like eBay, but I did find a credit card. I posted that. I think I did post it a long time ago. Maybe I'll repost it in the future. Okay. So that's all for Shoppers World discount stores. Now I'm gonna talk about something fun. I'm gonna talk about Clara Peller. Now, Clara Peller, she was a little old lady, and she was so endearing, and she made me laugh. But she was being herself. That's how she seemed cranky. Maybe she was cranky, but in real life, but probably not. I bet she was sweet and very caring. And so I will talk about her biography. Okay, so here we go. She was born August 4th, 1902. She was not born in Chicago. She was born in Russia, and she was one of 8 or 9 children. And let's see, and then they left and they settled in Chicago. And Clara married to a jeweler. His name was William Peller. She had 2 children, a son and a daughter, and then she later divorced. I don't know why. And she never remarried. And then she worked at a beauty salon in Chicago for 35 years as a manicurist. So that was her career. She did that. And let's see. And then when she was 80 years old, she was hired as a manicurist for a TV commercial set in a barbershop. I don't know what commercial it was. No, I'm not. And I think the director was impressed by her voice. She was like real deep, like that, kind of gruff and like that. So the reason that she was talking so deep, she was suffering from emphysema, and she had trouble hearing. She was a little hard of hearing, and she had trouble speaking long lines of dialogue. So the advertising agency asked her to sign a contract, and she did. And she I don't know if this was her first commercial. Her first commercial was for the state lottery in Massachusetts called Megabucks. I don't know how they did that. And then she did a commercial for Jarton, what's that called? Jarton Rental Company. And oh no, it was for Jarton Trucks. So it's a rental trucks. And I saw this commercial on YouTube. And she appeared, and then she was yelling at her husband who was sleeping. His name was Ed, like that. And I saw the commercial, and it was funny. I really liked it. And then they signed her up for Wendy's. And so I'm going to play the first commercial where Clara Peller first appeared in a Wendy's commercial with those 2 other older women. And it's hilarious. It really is. So sit back and enjoy. Thank you.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big, fluffy bun.
It's a very big, fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
Okay, everyone, I am back. That was a funny commercial. It was the first Wendy's commercial featuring Clara Peller. Where's the beef? I think she said it 3 times. And then the famous line, the last line she said, I don't think there's anybody back there. When I posted a picture of Clara Peller yesterday on my social media accounts, I had funny reactions from people. And most of the things they said is, where's the beef? Where's the beef? And that's all they said. Oh, they loved her, A couple of people complained because they found it obnoxious. Fine. To each his own. Anyway, she started another commercial with those 2 women where they were talking to management, and the guy who ran Wendy's or the store was on a yacht. and looked like a very overweight businessman. And then when Clara Peller took the telephone receiver and yelled, he said, "Where's the beef?" And the guy freaked out and he fell down. And also there was another commercial that they were driving around looking for going to each Wendy's restaurant to the drive-through, and she's yelling, "Where's the beef?" But the drive-through window, I mean, where the cashier is, they just close the sliding door in front of her. You can find those on YouTube. It's hilarious, And after these commercials took off, Wendy's became profitable, and she was in demand, and she appeared on TV shows and movies. Not much TV. She appeared on Saturday Night Live, and also she appeared in another TV show, Amazing Stories, that was directed by Steven Spielberg. That's an interesting show. I talked about on my other podcast, TV Oblivion. And she appeared in 2 movies, Moving Violations, and let's see what else, and The Stuff. You remember The Stuff? Oh boy, that was weird. And let's see, Movie Violation. She was who was in that movie? I saw clips of it. I never saw the whole movie. Not a great well-known people in there. So I'll read off some names. There was John Murray, Jennifer Tilly, James Keach. Let's see, Fred Willard was in the movie. It's Sally Kellerman. And so the storyline was there were a lot of people, they were drivers and they had bad luck, and they were sentenced to attend traffic school to keep their records clean. Oh boy, that must have been funny. And it was kind of like Police Academy with that comedy. So maybe I'll watch that movie. Maybe I'll try to find it and watch that movie. It was hilarious like that. And that movie came out in 1985, so it was around that time Wendy's was very popular. Then Clara Peller appeared in a commercial for Prego spaghetti sauce. But actually it was called Prego Pasta Plus spaghetti, where it had meat in it. And she didn't say, "Where's the beef?" in it. She says, "I found it. I really found it," which it was implied that she's talking about the beef. And she signed a contract with the Campbell Soup Company. I guess her lawyer arranged that. But then somebody from Wendy's worked there, and I guess he was offended and insulted. So they dropped her, which is terrible. And she mentioned one time, "I made a lot of money for him, but they didn't appreciate me," which is terrible. Sometimes advertising or like corporate America are very heartless, very cruel. I mean, especially to her, for what she's done. But I don't know. But I guess maybe her lawyer took advantage of her. It seems like. I'm not sure. I can't say that. It isn't true. And then after the "Where's the Beef" campaign ended, Wendy's restaurants enter a 2-year sales slump, which is a shame. The man who directed the commercials, his name was Joe Seldenmeyer. I watched an interview with him on TV yesterday, and he was a film director. He was well known for his TV advertising. 2 famous commercials he did was the FedEx Talking Man. He did that. John Machida, from the 1980s. Also, he did another Wendy's commercial, but this is the one where they had the beauty contest in the Soviet Union, which is around Russia. And I remember this commercial. It's hilarious. And he said in an interview, he didn't care for "Where's the Beef" commercial. He liked it, but he liked the one where they did the beauty contest in the Soviet Union. He said it was his favorite, but he adored Clara Peller. He really did, and he said she was a delight. She had trouble with her lines, but according to some sources, when she was doing the commercial, probably the first commercial, that there was a man underneath her by the table, and then he would cue her by pulling her dress so she can speak. The magic of television. That's how it is. Anyway, so let's see. So some people said they've seen her in Chicago. They had her worked at the beauty salon where she worked, or she would be at McDonald's having a coffee. And someone mentioned she was on the bus. Sitting next to her, and according to some people, she was very friendly. They told her, "We love you" in those commercials, and she was very pleased, very appreciative. And so after that, she didn't, she didn't do much, and then she passed away on August 11, 1987, and she was 85 years old, and she is buried at the Waldheim Jewish Cemetery. I think it's by Berwyn, Illinois, around that area. And you know what? That put her on the map. She was famous, and she still is. Some people say, "Where's the beef? Where's the beef?" My mother bought oven mitts one time at Fort City, and it said, "Where's the beef?" And I told my mother, she never used them, and I suggested to her, "Don't use them, just keep them, because they might be worth something later on." And she did. And she still has them. So they might be worth a lot of money. Maybe. We'll see. And sometimes she was a guest timekeeper for sporting events like WrestleMania 2 at Chicago's Rosemont Horizon. Also at probably football games. I don't know if she was at the Chicago Bears. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Like that. And so I still go to Wendy's once in a while. And I remember when it first opened at Fort City Shopping Center in I would say the late 70s. And do you remember the tables? They had like the old newspaper prints like that. They don't have them anymore. They changed, and it was called Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers. Now it's just Wendy's. And that location's still there, but they opened another one at Fort City East Shopping Center near my old house, but that's one closed, so that was closer. And of course, the most famous food item is the Frosty, which I love to this day. I still love it. It comes in chocolate, vanilla, but they introduced strawberry for the limited time. I haven't tried that. That sounds good, but the chocolate one, ooh, I love it. I really do. So I hope the people, probably Clara Peller's family or their friends or friends of friends, would be listening to this podcast, because this is for her honor, because she was such a sweet, dear lady. She made me laugh. Okay. So that'll be all for today. I discussed the Clara Peller from Wendy's hamburger commercials. Also, I talk about Shoppers World discount stores from the 1960s. I will do another podcast episode probably Tuesday. I'll see what I'm going to discuss. Also, listen to my other podcast, TV Oblivion. I just uploaded it a couple of days ago. That's brand new. You can listen to both podcasts on wherever they're available. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, also Spotify, and my YouTube channel, Vanishing Chicagoland Stories. If I will post this on my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. You can click on and listen if you like, for a nice Sunday day. Okay, so that'll be all for today. So this is because Sam is your host for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories. Thank you for joining me for listening, and I hope everyone have a great Sunday. Bye-bye for now for me, and here's Ray Rayner saying bye-bye for now with a little traveling music. So take it away, Ray. So long, everyone. Take care.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.